Let's try to beat the week 5 waiver wire, boys. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of my favorite waiver wire stashes ahead of week 4. There's no better feeling when you pick up a dude on Friday morning, Saturday morning, they pop off on Sunday, and you already have them. You don't have to spend your hard-earned FAAB. All right, guys, so we start this video like we always do every single Friday with handcuffs. This is just homework that we do every week. We check to make sure that these high-value handcuffs are not on the waiver wire. Guys that we think if the starter were to go down, they will have like a true 3-down workload. Trey Benson was someone that was a mainstay on this list. Hopefully you guys picked him up because we saw, James Conner was an injury risk. He goes down. Trey Benson looks like he's going to be like a pretty decent volume RB2, RB3 type of thing. So we saw him play last night, obviously. So look over this list, man. There's going to be a Discord link in the top comment as well as in the description where you can find this full list. And we see guys at the top like Braylon Allen, Shipley, Dowdle, Davis, Hill. These are just guys on like good teams where I think they're going to have a big workload if the starter were to go down. Braylon Allen and Rico Dowdle are high up on this list because they have some standalone value, so they don't actually need an injury for them to give you like really low flex production, right? So then we have Kamani Vidal is kind of like an interesting one on this list. He's someone where he was said to be the RB2 by Harbaugh. And I really do think that they might pick somebody up. Gus Edwards is out there. There's a couple other like vets that are out there on the waiver wire that they could pick up and bring in. Just make sure you guys follow the news. Obviously, replace Vidal because I don't think they're really that high on him. Miles Sanders, he's getting some run as well without Javonte needing an injury. Xavier Scott, Sideshow Bob, he's there. Kyle Magangu. Devin Singletary, he's now the RB2, behind Cam Scadaba. So, and before I get into the waiver stashes, I just want to quickly go over the waiver wire pickups from earlier in the week. Trey Tucker, Tyquan Thornton, Torrey Horton, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols. Those are guys that you want to make sure to pick up because they could have some early value. But let's talk about some other names, man. These are deeper names, guys that are probably still on your waiver wire. We're going to start this list with Parker Washington, man. I have a tweet here from Pete Nova. 11 targets in week 3, 71% snap share, up from 24%. So he played a shit ton of snaps. Part of that has to do with the fact that Diami Brown got injured in the game, but targets per out run, 33%. And then I think 2.24 yards per out run. I think that might be a typo there. 8 targets per game, man, over the last 2 weeks. So he's getting involvement. He seems to be kind of like the most trustworthy wide receiver now for the Jags. And I just want to say that Diami Brown did return to practice on Thursday, but he was limited. So there's a definite chance that Parker Washington ends up being the wide receiver 2 on this team behind Brian Thomas, who is mightily struggling, man. Brian Thomas can't catch a cold at the moment. Wrist injury looks like it's going to be lingering. Looks like it's really affecting him, man. It looks like he just can't catch the ball. It looks like he's got the yips as well. He doesn't want to run down the middle of the field. So Parker Washington could be a dude that emerges as just a trustworthy wide receiver, man. They are lacking wide receiver options at the moment. Travis Hunter doesn't look like he knows what the fuck he's doing. The coaching staff doesn't look like they know what the fuck to do with him. So I think you guys should pick up Parker Washington. He's at the top of the stash video. I really do think he's going to have some pretty significant value moving forward. Now let's move along, and we got Oronde Gadsden and Jalen Tolbert kind of in a little category together. I'm going to start with Gadsden here. Here's another tweet from Jacob Gibbs, the GOAT. Definitely give him a follow. Chargers used Oronde Gadsden all over the place. 50% snaps in the slot. That's crazy already. 10% snaps out wide. 40% snaps in line as a tight end. He worked over the middle a lot and was featured in the red zone, man. He had 55% red zone snap rate, up from 25% overall. 2 red zone targets. 2 red zone targets is already more than Ladd McConkey, dude. On the season, he's only really played 1 game. And I want to show you one more tweet. This is from Alex Insdorf. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh on Oronde Gadsden. I just have a feeling. I've seen this movie a few times. There's more good to come. He's going to play more. I think he's just going to take over the tight end 1 position on this team. And this is a very good offense, man, led by potential MVP Justin Herbert. You guys got to pick up Oronde Gadsden, man. Stash him. Let's see what happens in his second week. If he has another high snap rate, if they're moving him all around. This dude reminds me of Harold Fannin. It's the same exact narrative that Harold Fannin had earlier in the season. Just a very gadget tight end. He used to be a wide receiver. Now he's a tight end. Like Harbaugh said, man, we've seen this movie before, dude, a few times. I think he might be echoing or talking about Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, about these former basketball players becoming tight ends. I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that, but I don't know. It just makes me excited. I love the usage early on. Make sure you guys pick him up. I picked him up in a lot of my leagues. I just want to see what happens. I put him at the end of my bench. I'm starting Fannin in my main league, and I got Gadsden hanging out on the bench. And let's move along now to Jalen Tolbert. Listen, man, with CeeDee out 2 to 4 weeks, someone is going to have to step up. Now, Brian Schottenheimer did say on Wednesday that he is going to have to step up. It's going to have to be Tolbert. Now, I was kind of debating between Turpin and Tolbert earlier in the week. I think Tolbert is the safer play. I think Turpin is just going to have the same exact role regardless of what happens. He's kind of a gadget guy. He's like a big play guy. Also serviceable, also someone you could pick up and see what happens. Maybe his role also evolves. But Tolbert, we saw last year when CeeDee Lamb was out, he was actually pretty involved, man. There's a couple games where he had like 9 targets, like 18 fantasy points, and a few games where he got a touchdown. So this is just an above average offense. We want pieces of it. And look, man, one thing I do want to say is that Pickens, we're expecting him to now become the new CeeDee Lamb. We're expecting him to be the hybrid receiver who's all around the field. But I really do think Pickens struggles in that role. I do think he's really just an X receiver, kind of the sacrificial guy, the deep guy. He's going to be opening stuff up underneath. Jalen Tolbert could be the dude that benefits. Turpin could be the guy that benefits. Obviously, Ferguson is going to be fucking amazing the next couple weeks. But that's why I don't think Pickens is really going to step into this like alpha, 12 target wide receiver role. I think it's going to be spread among all the wide receivers. So make sure you guys pick up Tolbert. And now we move down to this little bucket of players. These are kind of like your deeper stash players. They're not really going to help us now. Jalen Coker, man, I have to talk about him. This Panthers offense is an offense that wants to throw the ball, dude. Let me show you guys this chart here. We got expected pass rate. They're above 65%. They're here bunched between the Giants and the Browns and the Titans, kind of at the top. So they throw about as much as expected, but it is high. It's like 65% plus. They're losing most games. They're throwing the ball quite a lot. Even in neutral situations, they still decide to throw the ball. When they get down the red zone, they're throwing the ball. And every single wide receiver on the Panthers is absolute dog shit at the moment. So Jalen Coker, man, when he comes back, I imagine he's just going to step immediately into a starting wide receiver role. Hunter Renfrow is somebody that they cut him. Coker gets the injury. They then pick up Hunter Renfrow again. They sign him back. So they didn't want to have to use Renfrow. They wanted to go into the season with Coker, Leggett, and Tet McMillan. And it was going to be, I think, Coker and McMillan kind of eating. And Coker's somebody, man, if you have an IR spot, make sure you pick him up. He's not going to come back until about week 6. He's still week to week, according to the reports. So if you have an IR spot and there's no one really on your team that's injured and you have a spot to spare, make sure that on Sunday morning, drop someone you don't need, add Coker, and then pick up that dude that you don't need, or pick up another player, a running back, one of those handcuffs that I mentioned earlier. Luther Burden's another one, has a big game in week 3, pops up for 20 fantasy points. He only gets 3 targets. He only plays 29% of snaps, but he gets a gadget play called for him. One more thing, man, he does get an end around in the end zone. I think a lot of people are forgetting this like carry that he had, where it was like a jet sweep, and he only had like 1 tackle to break, and he would have had a second touchdown, dude. And if Luther Burden had 2 touchdowns in that game, we'd be singing a different tune. He's still on the waiver wire in quite a lot of leagues. I'd pick him up, but this is like a deep season stash. So someone that might help us at the end of the season or maybe after the bye. I know they have like a week 5 bye, so maybe that might be a little too early. But I think if DJ Moore gets traded at some point during the season, which I do think the team might want to trade him, I haven't heard any legitimate rumors yet, but there's a chance. So make sure you guys pick him up and hold him. I think he could be great for us in the end of the season. He just has to beat out Zacchaeus as well for that slot role. Even if DJ Moore doesn't get traded, Zacchaeus is his only competition. I think he can beat him out eventually. Now let's move it along, man. We got Blake Corum, Brashard Smith. These are kind of 3 running backs that all of them are handcuffs, but these are guys that I want to specifically talk about. Woody Marks. Woody Marks played 30 snaps compared to Nick Chubb's 33. He had 19 routes run. He had 2 targets, 6 carries. Nick Chubb had 9 carries, 3 targets. So they're essentially like a 50-50 split at the moment. And Woody Marks has increased every single week. So make sure you guys pick him up, dude, because there's a chance that this offense and this team, if they continue struggling, they are 0-3 at the moment. If they continue struggling, they just realize that they can't run the ball. They might go over to Woody Marks as kind of like a 3-down back, as a receiving back. I don't think Chubb will ever be fully out of this team. He's still going to get early down work, but Woody Marks could get some valuable touches. He could be like a flex fill-in. Pick him up. Let's see what happens. I think this could be the week. If his usage goes up even more, if he plays more than Nick Chubb this week, it's going to be red alert, dude. He's going to be all over every waiver wire video next week. So Blake Corum is another guy. His usage is also increasing. McVay did say like 2 weeks ago that he wants to see like a 65-35 split between him and Kyron. And Blake Corum, dude, just looks fantastic anytime he has the ball. Kyron Williams looked pretty decent last week as well, I will say. But most other weeks, Kyron Williams looks really inefficient. And if Kyron were to go down, Blake Corum steps into one of the most valuable running back roles in the entire NFL on this really good offense, in this McVay offense. He'd be like a 3-down back, most likely. And then Brashard Smith is an easy one, man. Kareem Hunt, dude. You need 3 yards, I'll get you 3 yards. You need 5 yards, I'll get you 3 yards. So Kareem Hunt is cooked. The man is like your uncle at a barbecue, still thinks he's got it. He has nothing left in the tank. You guys can see it on the field. I don't think he's had a run more than like 10 yards in 2 years or something like that. But Brashard Smith is kind of this juicy, young rookie, 7th round or 5th round pick running back. I don't even remember. He had like 2 carries for 15 yards. He didn't really do much. He's not really on the field very much. But listen, man, if the Chiefs go down 1-3 after potentially losing to the Ravens this week, which is very possible, right? What are they going to do, man? Are they going to stick with Isaiah Pacheco, who's looks okay, but it looks like he's not quite the same like he used to be during those Super Bowl seasons. And then Kareem Hunt, like, what are they going to do, man? I think there's a chance they look toward Brashard Smith to see what the rookie has, see if he has a little bit more juice. Jerick McKinnon was somebody whose career was revitalized. That could be somebody that really helps this man late season. You just never know, dude. The Chiefs are on the verge of really changing things up. If they go down 1-3 against these Ravens, man, it might be GG no re for them. And now let's move down to a couple names. I have 1 quarterback, 2 tight ends. Jackson Dart is really simple. He went 32 of 47 in the preseason, 372 passing yards. He had 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, and a 113 passer rating. And then he also ran in a touchdown, so 6 for 52. The dude has some rushing upside. He looked sharp. He looked pretty good. I know it was against backups, plumbers, and blacksmiths, but he looked good. He's got some weapons. He's got, Scatabo, Tracy when he returns, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton. He's got some decent options here. They're a decent team. It's not like the Bengals where they don't have an O-line at all. Jackson Dart could be a sneaky good pickup, dude. Pick him up if you're really down bad at quarterback. If you're rotating between some like pocket passer quarterbacks and you're just looking for some help, looking for someone with a little bit of upside, especially as a runner. Jackson Dart could have like a Bo Nix type of rookie season, man. I can see it. It's in his repertoire. It's in his skill set of being a runner. And then we got Cade Otton, man. He's Tony Snell, dude. He's running routes, 90% snap participation, but he's just not getting shit at the moment. But we saw what could happen when they're down wide receivers. They're getting Chris Godwin back. We don't know what his role is going to be, how much, usage he's going to have early on. It's really just Egbuka right now. Mike Evans is out with a hamstring. Cade Otton could be interesting, man. I've been saying it for a couple weeks. At some point, I got to remove this dude from this list because he's just doing jack fuck all. But Isaiah Likely, another one. He practiced, I believe, in a limited fashion this week. So we need to see him on the field, man. I mean, Mark Andrews coming off 2 touchdowns, but I just want to see, man, if you can spare a spot on your bench, I want to see what Isaiah Likely can do on this Ravens team. They were excited about him. Obviously, he's been on the shelf through this, through 3 weeks. So Mark Andrews coming off a big game, 2 touchdowns. One of them came in garbage time, and Mark Andrews was pretty unusable the weeks before that. So maybe Likely comes and he, retakes his spot as like a 50% player with Mark Andrews. And maybe he's something, man. Maybe he can help us. Maybe this team wants to start to look toward Likely. I don't know. It's tough, but it's very speculative, but we know how good he can be. We know what he's capable of doing. So that does it, boys. Those are the waiver wire stashes ahead of week 4 so that you can beat the week 5 waiver wire. Save your FAAB, save your money, go to the strip club. I just want to let you guys know we have a Discord. It's growing. It's a dope little community. A lot of sharps in there. We're talking ball almost every day. So if you guys need some help with sit starts, trades, who to drop, maybe if you want to pick up some of these more speculative guys, I will help you out. Quick little announcement about the Sunday live streams. We've been doing them in the past couple weeks. Shit's been fun. Thank you to everyone for showing up. As of right now, I might have to cancel it. Just, it's a little personal, but I might be having my first child on that day. We have an appointment at the clinic. I'll try to let you guys know the day of, but if I don't show up, I'm really sorry to anyone who's looking forward to it. But if I can make it, it will happen around the same time, maybe like 8:30 Pacific time, 9 o'clock Pacific time, maybe a little bit earlier so that we can start. But I will let the Discord community know or anyone else who's interested. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.